Hello. So it's been a busy month. As I said in a previous recording, that I had an interview opportunity, and I'm grateful to God and happy to announce that I was able to accept that position. So I started a new position within the last 4 weeks. So I've been crazy busy doing that. Community 24/7 also had its very first Mother's Day tea and fundraiser on May 11th. And so that was a busy time as well, and everything went well. But I do want to honor my commitment to logging on and sharing my iSurrender journey. And so this month I'm focusing on surrendering to vulnerability. At that Mother's Day tea, we had a grand old time. We had one of our clients share her testimony in which she was vulnerable with the audience and what she's gone through. We were ministered with dance performances, and the first dance performance was from Pat Johnson, and she danced to a song called You Know My Name by Tasha Cobbs Leonard. You probably know it, but it was anchored in a scripture reading from Psalm 139. And so I have been reading the entire psalm and meditating and studying on that word as I continue to surrender to vulnerability. At the Mother's Day tea, I also shared some vulnerable stuff about my own experience and my battles with mental health, depression. I shared that I've had like times where it's been really, really dark, suicidal thoughts, all of those things. And I shared that with the audience. And in that moment, I was being vulnerable, which isn't something that is easy for me to do. But I am glad that I was able to do it. And I'm hoping that it touched someone else's life or inspired someone else. So going to Psalm 139, I am just pulling out a couple verses of that. So it starts with, "O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. You know when I sit down or stand up. You know my thoughts even when I'm far away. You see me when I travel and when I rest at home. You know everything I do. You know what I'm going to say even before I say it, Lord. You go before me and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too great for me to understand." And then I highlighted another portion of it. "If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest oceans, even there your hand will guide me, and your strength will support me. I could ask the darkness to hide me, and the light around me to become night. But even in darkness, I cannot hide from you. To you, the night shines as bright as day. Darkness and light are the same to you." And those two portions of the psalm stood out to me, especially when we talked about darkness and light are the same to God. And even if I wanted the darkness to hide me, that He is still there. And so what I was explaining to the audience at the tea, in those moments where it just was a really dark space for me, and I've had these moments before, God steps into those dark spaces and He is the light for me. I use the example of a wind chime. And what I've learned is the harder the winds of life blow, the harder the financial difficulties blow, the harder the depression and the mental health challenges blow, I've learned, as the wind chimes will do, to sing praises to God even louder, to make a louder praise unto God, to pray more, to study more, to sit and rest in His word more. And then in doing that, I'm able to be vulnerable and share these things that I'm going through with other people. And don't be as afraid to do so. I think for me, being afraid to be vulnerable is showing a sign of weakness, but it's also exposing your weakness to people who may or may not take your vulnerability in the best way or the best light, or they may take advantage of a vulnerability that you shared, in which that kind of hurts you. And for me, I tend to close up and shut down when that happens. And so for me, as I mentioned in the psalm, it's in those dark places, God came and He found me and He pulled me out and He shined His light on those dark areas of my life. And He lets me know that it's okay. It's okay to shine a light on those things that have been affecting me, that have been impacting me. And by me doing that, I am helping someone else's light shine as well. So I am still continuing my journey. doing a lot of amazing things. I am grateful to God for how far He has brought me thus far. I'm not where I'm used to be, but I know I'm not perfect either. And so He's still working on me. So I am just grateful, and I am glad that you are along for the ride. I surrender all. I surrender to vulnerability.